Hi, hair's not looking too special today. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't text you back. Your text arrived when I was in therapy, and then after I was in therapy, I felt kind of out of it, and that was Friday. A Saturday, I don't know. I have no excuse, really. And just living my life and everything, and I would think about you, and then I'll have to text back, and then I would not have my phone on me, and then I'd be okay, I want to go inside, I will text, and then I wouldn't. So, bedbugs. You have bedbugs? I'm sure you've researched everything that you can do about bedbugs. I remember hearing, like, if you stay at a hotel and you come back from the hotel and you've got them in your clothes or whatever, like, you have to burn your clothes or just get rid of them. Sheets. What are you gonna do? And where did they come from? How come all of a sudden you have them? We're not noticing them until now. Wouldn't they have been around? Did somebody sleep in your bed? But you've been there every night. I mean, you slept over here, but that was a while ago. So I don't know what to say. So let's talk about me. I was a wreck in therapy because I was really over-caffeinated because all day I felt so tired. So I had Diet Coke, I had a Snapple, and then I had a really strong coffee that Paul made, and I felt really jittery and edgy and kind of anxious. And I told her about some bad things about Paul from the week, where he was, a couple of times last week, he was rude to me, dismissive, snotty, condescending, cold, like a little, well, cold could be normal, but kind of shitty, like bitchy. And one of the side effects of my meds is crying, which who knows? I mean, I cry anyway, but these really deep heaving cries. So he hurt my feelings a lot, and we kind of had fights, not big fights, but fights. And I told her this, and she was like, well, he's under a lot of stress, and then the whole family is under stress, so you have to see where this could be coming from. And I got mad. She could tell I was mad. I was like, mm-hmm. She was like, is there something that I'm saying that you are not agreeing with? Are you not feeling heard? And I was like, well, I agree with what you're saying, that there's stress, and that maybe that probably that influenced him to treat me in a way that he normally doesn't treat me. You know, that makes sense. I was like, but I'm telling you this because he hurt my feelings real bad. Like, the things he said and the tone, and when I was trying to, like, reach out to him, or even if I wasn't, hurt me. And she kind of just got back into the stress thing. I don't know, that annoyed me. And she keeps changing our appointments because she has a new job. She's like student counselor at Stony Brook, and that's her full-time job. And she kept like a small amount of patients at the counseling center where I go, because we're like special needs, and there's so few places where you can see a PhD with insurance, and but anyway, she's got this job, and then there's conferences regarding the job, and she's got kids, and she's juggling a very full schedule. And I feel like my appointments keep shifting around, sometimes the last minute. Well, she had a childcare crisis the other night, last week. And so that's been really frustrating. And she keeps apologizing for it. But I have this anxiety, like I don't know if an appointment's going to be real or if it's going to get canceled at any time. But for the most part, I feel attached to her, and she is very observant and usually paints an accurate picture of what's going on. But she annoyed me, but I felt really jittery, and I was like shaking my leg. I was like, you could see me shaking my leg and stuff like that. And she felt like I was having an anxiety attack, but I was just jittery on caffeine. But she asked me certain questions, and I couldn't answer them. Like, she was like, did you take any Klonopin this week? And I couldn't remember, and I would be like, I don't know. Like, I did have this weird memory thing. And I cried. I was jittery. I was mad at her. I expressed being mad. I couldn't remember things, what days they happened. So she was like, do you want to... I was like, I don't know if this is whatever the drug is called. Fuck, I can never remember what it's called. The non-stimulant ADHD medication, Strattera. I was like, I don't know if what I'm going through is Strattera. And she's like, when you're in the first lowest dose, you felt calmer. And I don't know, maybe that's a better dose for you. Or and I was like, well, I don't know if that was a better dose or this dose I need to adjust to, because these meds often need adjustment time where you have to get through the really gnarly side effects, or I'm having a bad week. I don't know. And so she's like, do you want to call Dr. Allen tomorrow, on Monday? And I was like, no. And she's like, why not? And I was like, I don't like calling people. I don't like interrupting people when I don't know what they're doing. He could be doing anything, like fucking you. No, I did it. Catching them off guard, or and I know that if someone can't take a call at that moment, and it's an important call, they will call. I trust them on that, but I have a fear, and I'm afraid of men's anger. And she's like, She's like, he's not going to be angry with you. And I was like, well, one time I called him, and he sounded annoyed, and that was like a year ago, but I'm afraid to talk to him on the phone. I was like, I am not afraid of him in the office. I'm completely comfortable with him, but I'm afraid. And I was like, I'm even uncomfortable talking to you on the phone. And she's like, well, what if he called you? And I was like, that's the same thing. And she was like, yeah, but you wouldn't have to make the call. And she's like, I think it's important. They're going away on vacation next week, so I can't, because he was like, my last appointment, and he was like, if you're having any trouble with this med, call and come in. But I can't do that next week. And I seemed to be having trouble with it. So she's like, I really want you to talk to him and tell him your symptoms and feelings and what you're going through with this medication, or just what you're going through. And she's like, it's not for me to judge what is happening. And so I was like, okay. She's like, the yawns are back. She's like, a bit late afternoon, early evening. I was like, okay, but now I dread this. Because he has like a, not brisk, he has an upstanding voice, like formal almost. Even though like in our appointments, he'll laugh and stuff, but on the phone he's like, Allison, this is Dr. Allen. And I'll be like, hey, I feel tongue-tied. And I don't know if I'm saying too much or irrelevant things, or I can't tell from body language and eye contact if I'm being relevant enough. Like I might start wandering to like, I've been crying a lot, but and I saw that was a side effect, but I cry a lot anyway, so it's really hard for me to judge. And then I could see me doing that instead of just being like, I've been crying a lot. I'm being a little confrontational with Paul, and taking longer naps, and feeling sad or whatever. That's about it. But yet at the same time having more energy to clean up the house or go shopping. So it's like weird. It's like it's like a depressant, antidepressant. That's that. Maybe I shouldn't have made this vlog right now. I feel really, it's like strangely out of it. Last night I made a song about Barnabas. I'm not done making it because I'm obsessed with Barnabas from Dark Shadows. Like, I am obsessed. And it's like I'm a teenager from 1967. I mean, and it's weird. He became a major sex symbol, like on the cover of Tiger Beat, and he was really popular. But like when the show started, he was like 40-something. He looked older than that. He's got pockmarked skin. His Dracula makeup is like really pasty and gross, and yet I find him like really hot. And obviously many women did, because he was a sex symbol. Like, I kind of feel cheesy, like he's not my private sex symbol. I'm just like every teenage girl in the 60s and 70s. But nonetheless, there it is. And his character is so compelling because he's evil and he's brokenhearted and he's good and he's complex. And the show has been all set in 1967, where he's like a vampire that appears. But now, through a seance and time travel, Victoria is in 1795, and we're seeing his origin story, and it's really heartbreaking. It's like, I can't even get through the episodes. I can barely. It's so I'm like, my love is deepened, and so I'm making this song, and I really want to get it to your mother. I don't know if she can receive an MP3, like how much technology they have. I could just like email it to her, or I don't know, or make a CD and mail it to her. But I think she'd appreciate it, and so would Pete Wallace. But okay, 1433. Goodbye. I love you.